Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We got 1 hour left to go in trading, and we got markets pulling back in the red. Right now, you have the S&Ps approaching session lows. We're off 15 points right now. You see the slide early this morning. We're up to 64.40, and as I mentioned at that top of the hour update, we're going to get some volume today. We'll get into it. S&P is off by 0.2% right now. NASDAQ 100 barely in the red. The Dow off 213. You have UNH trading lower in a big way. But let's start it off with some price and volume. And boy, it is remarkable when you compare it to that volume that got ahead of the volatility to the downside. We were talking about it for some time. And folks, this puts it in perspective, okay, in terms of the massive amount of volume that we're getting on that period of time. And right now, though, we've done 862,000 contracts all of yesterday. You did 915,000 contracts. Day prior to that, Friday, 773,000 contracts. So we're going to put a big number up today. We'll see how the day finishes, but you're going to have some volume. Same thing in the NASDAQ 100. Check it out. Well, let me back it up. NASDAQ 100 right now, you've already done 455,000 contracts. That's one of the highest 3 volume days in the last 10 days, and we still have an hour to go to trading. So it's going to be a big number right now on the markets. Yields in focus right now. Got to update that. That was this morning. 10-year at 4.4. That's what I sent out with market insights this morning. Well, we're at 4.33. 7 basis points shaved just like that. We got lower yield, and the dollar's holding up well. Okay, there is almost no pullback. Yes, you have a pullback from 99.1 to 99.8, but we're right where we were at 7:30 this morning on the dollar. So that's going to be an interesting one if you actually get a little bit of a separation. Yields pull back. Is that going to be enough to weaken the dollar with what's going on right now? That is the relationship that usually takes place, but it's not a guarantee, and it's not happening today. And gold, up $15. Now, as I mentioned, you rolled over on contracts. Okay, so yesterday we had the contract of the prior trading near 33.15. You roll over contracts, you get a boost. We're trading right now at 33.82 on gold, up $15. And yeah, you jump over to silver right now. Silver up by 14 pennies at 38.36. All right, let's jump around to some of the news of the day. Pretty decent headlines. Now, we have some equities that are trading lower. I talked about UNH yesterday, folks, a lot. They have a lot going on, to put it lightly. And the Medicare fraud, okay, if the news stories are true and everything they write is pretty profound, it seems like it's pretty criminal fraud to the tune of tens of billions of dollars. And they're only talking, so for what it is, right? Nonetheless, their numbers last night, even lower. We're off by $16.50. That's dragging down the Dow today as well. Okay, one of the other headlines. We'll jump to a couple. We're talking about tariffs. So first we talk China. You have the Treasury Secretary saying that the U.S. and China will continue talks over maintaining a tariff truce before it expires in 2 weeks. Okay. Headline, the U.S. and China agree to continue talks on the tariff truce extension. Any conversation is good conversation to make a deal. The more interesting one is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick coming out and basically saying, we got to figure out all the details of this U.S. and EU deal. Folks, the devil's always in the details. This is why trade deals like this usually take years. Now, doesn't mean it's going to blow up, but the devil is always in the details, right? Says there's plenty of horse trading left to do. He expects to continue discussing issues like digital services, taxes, and the attack on U.S. tech companies with the European Commission's trade. So everything's negotiable if those details are still there. That's a risk that you should keep your eye on. They're going to seek to clinch a non-legally binding joint statement by August 1st that will expand on some of the elements negotiated. Still non-binding, and they have a lot to work out. It's a good deal that it's done. But I read that, and I'm like, yeah, so they're going to get a non-binding by August 1st that will expand some of those elements. So, nonetheless, in focus. All right, NVIDIA. Let's jump over to NVIDIA shares. So they give back some of the gains this morning. You trade about $3 off the highs. And I was talking about this morning that you're almost at the level NVIDIA this morning was at about 4.36, almost $4.4 trillion. That's almost the combined value of Apple and Amazon. Staggering. And then, yeah, I'm not the only one commenting on the run, as in more billionaires getting added to the ranks when you have a company worth that much money, $4.3 trillion. Two more NVIDIA executives have gained that 10-figure, what's it, the 10 comma, or no, the 3 comma club, right? Silicon Valley, for those that watch that show, the three comma club. And you're talking about here the chief financial officer and Jay Puri, Colette Kress and Jay Puri, who oversees sales and marketing, each are worth more than $1 billion. The bulk of their fortunes in NVIDIA stock. Yeah, the first $4 trillion company. And what I will say is, it's been quite a one-way trip, folks. We're going to come up, we're going to talk to our man Basil Chapman next, and we're always talking about the indices, and we're talking about the weeklies and the peaks, and there are no pullbacks in this equity, man. It just goes one way to higher prices, and you're talking about more than doubling in value over a period of less than 4 months, from $86 to $176. And how many red bars? We got 2 tiny red bars in that entire run for a weekly basis, and even those bars, right? No sweat. One of those bars you actually even finished higher from the week prior because you gapped higher. The other one you were low. Remarkable run for NVIDIA. And on a volume basis, lighter volume since the week of June 23rd. Okay? This week of June 30th, you had July 4th in there. But since then, you can see we haven't matched that volume when you accelerated to about the 160 price point. You put things on a daily on NVIDIA. Yeah, a little bit of sell on July 22nd. But this market's been lightening up on volume. But that hasn't stopped it. And the last thing we'll jump over to is the VIX. Now, we were talking about this morning. No reason to put any fear in things when you have the VIX at 1480. Well, it's at 1571, man. So, yeah, there's a little bit of fear jumping in this market when you have the VIX up almost 5%, just like that. Folks, stay tuned. We got the S&Ps off by 14, NASDAQ 100 off by 9, Dow off 206. We're coming back with our man Basil Chapman. Don't go away, folks.